leader has slammed Home Minister Amit Shah. This is Digvijay Singh. He has said that BJP is working against the model of the people. He's saying that they are working against the model of Ram Rajya and saying that Lord Ram stands with the Congress, in fact. Now going back to Arun for more perspective on this. Arun, now we again see BJP using the Hindutva leverage to counter the Mehengai protest of the Congress. But Congress there saying that Lord Ram is actually with them and that these kind of malicious twists that are being given by the BJP is actually against Ram Rajya. What kind of ground can Congress hope to win by using this line of argument?
Well, see, one thing is very clear that nobody wants to, both Congress and BJP actually wants to, distract or, divert from the main issues, and therefore Congress party is talking about the GST hike, price rise. These are the issues on which they protested, and on the other hand, BJP is calling it a protest of one day and something which is against all the Ram Bhakts, because they protested on that day, the day which is very, very auspicious and very important for Hindu community. And therefore, we are seeing that the reactions pouring in from the Congress's top leaders. Some of them are saying that it's a success, and therefore, out of frustration, BJP leaders are making this statement. Some are, in fact, saying that if they talk about black clothes, in the RSS shakhas, we have seen RSS workers wearing black caps. So, both Congress and BJP are not really sparing each other, and their top leaders are hitting out at each other, because yesterday we had seen in the evening, it was none other than Union Home Minister Amit Shah who came forward and hit back at the Congress party. And then immediately after that, Jairam Ramesh, who's the communication head of Congress party, coming out with this tweet calling it a bogus statement by Amit Shah, and also a statement to divide, polarize the society. So, which way this protest has gone, it is something which nobody has expected. But Congress party is saying that they have really reached to the homes of people, and therefore BJP is making these statements.
Thank you very much for providing that perspective, Arun. Now let's also listen in to what exactly Home Minister Amit Shah had said.
बड़े से बड़े नेता से लेकर छोटे से छोटे कार्यकर्ता तक सारे कांग्रेसी काले कपड़े पहनकर आए थे। प्रच्छन्न रूप से उन्होंने एक संदेश भेजने का प्रयास किया है कि राम जन्मभूमि का जो शिलान्यास हुआ वो, और अब जो भव्य मंदिर बनने जा रहा है, दोनों के साथ हमारा विरोध है और हम इसी के लिए प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं। एक सटल मैसेज देना चाहते हैं कि हम राम जन्मभूमि के शिलान्यास का विरोध करते हैं और अपनी तुष्टीकरण की नीति को वो आगे बढ़ाना चाहते हैं। तुष्टीकरण की नीति न देश के लिए अच्छी है, न कांग्रेस के लिए अच्छी है। मेरा स्पष्ट मानना है कि उन्होंने 5 अगस्त के दिन श्री राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर का जो शिलान्यास हुआ है, इसी के विरोध के कारण ही काले कपड़े पहनकर विरोध किया है, अति तीव्रता के साथ विरोध किया है।
As Ayodhya marked the second anniversary of the Ram Mandir Bhumi Pujan yesterday, Phase 1 completion of the Mandir will happen by December next year. Following that, the temple will be open for devotees. My colleague Pranshu Mishra brings you this ground report.
2 years ago, on 5th August 2020, the Prime Minister has laid the foundation stone for the grand Ram temple in Ayodhya, and today you can see the first pictures out here as this massive construction work is going on. In fact, right from the work of laying the foundation stone, which has been completed, today the plinth structure, or the foundation on which the actual temple will actually be constructed, that plinth has also been risen to a significant level, and the saffron flag you see which is fluttering amidst this ongoing construction work is exactly the point where the sanctum sanctorium is being built. Now in June this year, Yogi Adityanath, UP Chief Minister, had performed the puja, thereby marking the construction work of the Garbhagriha or the Sanctum Sanctorium. And today, 2 months down the line, the walls of Sanctum Sanctorium are already being constructed. Now, at the moment, you can see lot of heavy machinery, big cranes. They are already in action at the particular site. Lot of workers with all the security measures. They are working there, and that's the reason why journalists are not being allowed to go exactly to that point where this construction work is going on. But I'll show you through these pictures, this entire huge site which you see around us is the Ram Janmabhoomi temple area, and this entire temple structure, the 3-story temple structure, would be coming up here. These are all the granite slabs which will be the part of the foundation stone or the structure of the temple, and also the red sandstone that would be used as far as the construction of the main temple is concerned. And I'm also joined by Mr. Anil Mishra, who is one of the trustees here.
मंदिर के निर्माण के काम को एक साथ विचार करके देखा जाए तो 30% से अधिक का निर्माण कार्य पूरा हो गया है, लेकिन अलग अलग खंडों में विचार करके अगर हम देखते हैं तो 2 तारीख को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो भूमि पूजन किया था, उसके बाद से हमने न्यू का काम पूरा किया है। उसके बाद उसके प्लिंथ का काम अब लगभग 90% पूर्ण हो चुका है। प्लिंथ के ऊपर सुपर स्ट्रक्चर जिसको हम कहते हैं, बंसी पहाड़पुर के तरासे गए पत्थर का काम बहुत तीव्रता के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है, जिसको 1 तारीख को उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री माननीय योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने अपने कर कमलों के द्वारा उस शिला को रख के प्रारंभ किया था। आज वो गर्भगृह की शिलाएं बहुत तेजी से लग रही हैं और लगभग वो भी 400 के आसपास शिलाएं लग चुकी हैं, और निकट भविष्य में हमने सोचा था कि सितंबर तक ये प्लिंथ का निर्माण पूरा होगा, लेकिन आज वो 90% हो गया है, अर्थात अगस्त में हम प्लिंथ का निर्माण पूरा कर लेंगे। उसके बाद सुपर स्ट्रक्चर का काम बहुत तीव्रता के साथ आगे बढ़ेगा। रॉक टाइप का फाउंडेशन है, उसके ऊपर जो प्लिंथ बन रहा है वो ग्रेनाइट स्टोन के इस 3 बाई 2.5 बाई 5 के स्टोन से विशेष प्रकार के डिजाइन के माध्यम से उसको रखा जा रहा है, जिससे अगर किस प्रकार का जिसको भूकंप रोधी प्लिंथ कह सकते हैं, उसके ऊपर सुपर स्ट्रक्चर होगा, जिसके नाते सुपर स्ट्रक्चर कभी प्रभावित नहीं होगा।
I have been here since the first day of working. Our part of work would definitely be when people will start coming in. We'll have Ram Murti Vigraha here. We are planning to do it by December 23. It is again one and a half years right from right now. And the further part of the Shikhar may continue because that's the longest one which will take. Along with that, we'll have also a Parkota all round that will be around 800 meter long. It is also made out of the same stone. That may take a year later. So in all, the total project is likely to be till December 25, including the peripheral areas.
It's D-Day for the vice presidential elections in India. It's Jagdeep Dhankad versus Margaret Alva in a bitter political battle. Voting will begin today at 10 a.m. and will end at 5 p.m. The ruling party, NDA, that emerged victorious in the recently held presidential polls as well, is looking at yet another big win. Dhankad is expected to get 2/3 of the votes. In case of the opposition candidate, Margaret Alva, TMC remains adamant and will break ranks by boycotting the VP poll. The final result will be announced today at 7 p.m. All right, now we're joined by my colleague Akash, who is live from Margaret Alva's residence. Akash, a big blow for the opposition there with the TMC deciding to abstain. Also, I want to say that YSR, CP and BJD are going to be backing the NDA, which means that's a tally of 52 votes right there. But more importantly, the fact that the opposition continues to lose ground when it comes to these very crucial elections.
Shilpa, let me mention that it is more of a symbolic fight for Margaret Alwa because, we all know that NDA candidate has numbers with him, and as far as the fight is concerned, because this is the beauty of democracy, even when you know that you are not going to win, you are fighting the election, you are a very part of this process. At this point in time, we are learning that out of 788 votes, expected are that more than 500 votes will be of NDA, and as far as the opposition candidate is concerned, so she has got at least 17 to 18 parties with her, but then also she is not going to win. Yes, it is a kind of formality because it's the due process. The election commission will be carrying out this particular process, but we are expecting that the NDA candidate would be winning. By 7 p.m. we'll be getting the results and we'll get to know as to how many votes Mr. Dhankar has got. And while it is about Margaret Alwa, who is also the former governor of Rajasthan, she has dedicated her entire life in public services. She is a candidate, opposition candidate, but as of now it is the formality. And also, given the fact that NDA has got numbers in the parliament, it is expected that Dhankar would be winning. But by 7 p.m. we'll be getting the final result. Shilpa.
Akash, also tell me, what are the parties that have backed Dhankar and also the parties backing Alwa, especially those that will be breaking ranks by cross-voting?
Right. So in the presidential election, we saw how cross-voting happened, and this time it is very much interesting because this time the electoral college, it is only of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Total 788 votes, as I mentioned earlier. And Aam Aadmi Party has clarified that they are going to support Mrs. Alwa. And on the other hand, TMC is abstaining. They are not going to vote. And it was initially expected that TMC would be, giving support to Mrs. Alwa. But after the declaration of NDA candidate, it was very much expected that now they'll be going with NDA candidate just because Mr. Dhankar was also the governor of West Bengal. But at this point in time, while Aam Aadmi Party and parties like JMM are supporting Alwa, it is yet, I should say a loose chance that she'll be winning because only 17 to 18 parties are supporting Alwa, while on the other hand, we have 20 to 21 parties, these parties are supporting Mr. Dhankar. So candidature is very much strong, and as far as the ruling party is concerned, we know that they have got the numbers, and that's the reason why we are mentioning it again and again, that this is just a formality and also a beauty of democracy because this is a token fight now, and we are expecting that NDA candidate would be winning. But again, the opposition candidate is a strong candidate. She has dedicated her life into public services, and also she was a cabinet minister, she was a governor, she was a part of the ruling party. She held several posts. She held in fact several posts in Congress. But as far as this current election is concerned, we're expecting that by 7 p.m. we'll get the final picture as to who is going to be the vice president of India, next vice president of India in fact.
All right, thank you, Akash. But do stay with us while we're also joined by our colleague Arun Dhanta. Arun, 2 points. Let's talk about TMC breaking ranks by abstaining from the elections, the second largest party in the opposition. But many expected that Mamata Banerjee, would actually want Dhankar as the vice president because she's been embroiled in a battle with him ever since he became the governor of West Bengal. Also, it was alleged that there was a Darjeeling pact between Himanta Biswa Sarma and her.
Well, see, as of now, the information that we have is that we had seen the relationship between Mamata Banerjee and Jagdeep Dhankar was not well because, he was somebody who was calling Mamata Banerjee on various issues. And secondly, what TMC has been saying that they were not consulted before the name of Margaret Alwa was decided by the opposition parties. So in this regard, TMC is saying that they are breaking ranks with the opposition parties and they will walk away, they will abstain from the voting in vice presidential election. But as far as the number game is concerned, that is very much set behind the BJP because in this election, we know only MPs and MPs of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha votes, unlike presidential election. So the number game is very much with the BJP. They have their own Lok Sabha MPs, around 303 and then 91 Rajya Sabha MPs. So out of 780 a total strength of both houses, you need around 395 votes to win, and BJP very easily has around 450 votes, so there will not be any issue. But the point here is that why BJP has, given name of Jagdeep Dhankar. That is something which is the larger point here, because BJP wants to, take advantage of Jagdeep Dhankar. He's somebody who comes from a Jat community, and elections are due in Rajasthan, Haryana, and Haryana consists of 25% of Jat community. Rajasthan also has around 12% of Jat community, Uttar Pradesh. So these are the states where BJP is expecting to reap benefit from this decision, as it happened in case of Draupadi Murmu, because that was the biggest decision. We have a huge population of tribal community in close to 8 to 10 states. So the strategy with which BJP is proceeding at this moment is something which covers the entire country. They have recently sent 4 nominated MPs from the south. They had their national executive in south, and you have Draupadi Murmu covering the entire 10 to 15 states with tribal population, and then you have Jagdeep Dhankar holding the clout on Jat community. And also importantly, he comes from the Kisan community, and that's something which both JP Nadda and the Prime Minister Modi, spoke about him, that he's a Kisan Putra, he's a farmer's son. We had seen dissent amongst the farmers with the government on those bills, which later on were taken back by the government, but still government feels that there is some amount of anger amongst the farmers. So this will help them to get back that confidence, because larger chunk of farmers, came from the Jat community. So there is a larger strategy with these decisions of Bharatiya Janata Party, and it is going to be a easy walk for Bharatiya Janata Party's candidate Jagdeep Dhankar.
Do stay with us, Arun, because we're also joined by Nikhil Lakhwani, who is live from the Parliament. Very good morning to you, Nikhil. The voting is expected to start at 10 a.m. today. Now, can you please take us through the voting process of the vice presidential elect, because both houses will be voting. Who is expected to abstain also, importantly?
Well, Shilpa, as you have rightly mentioned, at about 10 a.m., the voting for the vice presidential election will start, and it is going to conclude at about 5 p.m. So by 7 p.m., we are expecting that the results will be out, and the country will get its new vice president, for the state. And also, what we do know is that on 11th of August, the oath-taking ceremony is going to take place for the newly elected vice presidential candidate. And also because on 10th of August, that means in a few days from now, after 4 days, the tenure of current Vice President, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, it is going to conclude, it is going to end. So on 11th, the oath-taking ceremony is going to take place. And unlike the Vice Presidential election system, this time in the Vice Presidential election, only the members of the parliament, only they are eligible to cast their vote. Because if we talk about the presidential election, at that time, Vidhan Mandals are also eligible. But in VP elections, only the, a member of parliament from both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they are only eligible to cast their vote. There are 1 or 2 MPs from the Bharatiya Janata Party side. They are going to abstain in the voting process because 1 or 2 have mentioned towards the party system that their health is not well, they are not going to able to come. But apart from it, if we talk about the party-wide system, Shilpa, Trinamool Congress from the West Bengal, the Mamata Banerjee, she has clearly said that they are going to abstain from the parliament. They already decided that they are not going to cast any of the vote either in the favor of NDA candidate Jagdeep Dhankar or in the favor of opposition joint candidate Margaret Alwa. On 21st of July, the meeting of the Member of Parliament from the TMC side, it was held and it was chaired by Mamta Banerjee. She had some of her reasons saying that she wasn't consulted properly on the name of the Margaret Alva. This is the reason why she's going to abstain. Her Member of Parliament from the TMC side, they have a decent number in the parliament, so they are going to abstain in entire voting process. So this is the process all about. So at about 10 a.m. and that means in a short while from now, Shilpa, the voting will start. It will conclude at about 5 p.m. and by 7 p.m. we are expecting that some of the, in fact, the final name for the vice presidential the country will get. And also there are many of the parties, who have now come in the favor of NDA candidate Jagdeep Dhankar. Many of the opposition parties have come in the favor. If we talk about the BSP, they are in the favor. If we talk about AIADMK, they are in the favor. If we talk about the the party of Naveen Patnaik, BJD, they are also in the favor along with the Shiv Sena camp. So there are multiple parties from the opposition camp who have now come out showing some of the cranks, some of the dissent for the opposition candidate, and now they are casting their vote in favor of the NDA candidate. And also if we talk about the parties who have now come in support of the opposition candidate, Aam Aadmi Party, they are going to cast their vote in support. They have close to 10 MPs in Rajya Sabha. They have 0 MP in Lok Sabha, but all the 10 MPs from the Aam Aadmi Party, they are going to cast their vote in support of the opposition candidate Margaret Alva. Then there comes the TRS party
Nikhil,
as well.
request you to hold those details. You're bringing us a lot of details. Let's take a moment for that to sink in, and let's get some more details on the other side of this very short commercial break.